All right, so when we start off with this, first thing that we always have to do, we always have to find the slope first. So in these problems, yesterday's problems, they gave you the slope and the y-intercept. You kind of, like, maybe you had to find the slope, but you didn't have to find the y-intercept. Today's problems, you have to find the y-intercept. So either they give you the slope and a point that's not the y-intercept. Remember, the y-intercept starts with 0. So if the point they gave you doesn't start with 0, don't be writing y equals negative 5x plus 16. That is not the equation of this line. The only time you can do that is when they give you, so like in this case, or if they had said, and the point 0, negative 9. If they don't give you a point that starts with 0, they are not giving you the y-intercept, and you can't use that point directly to write the equation, okay? So with these two problems, okay, so this one, they gave me slope, and remember, slope is m. I'm sorry, m equals negative 5. They gave me slope. Now I have to find the y-intercept. So there's two ways I can do that. The first way is the way that you guys have always done it, which is with that process table. Now, again, if you don't like the process table, I'm going to show you another method, but you got to pick one. So we write the kind of like the gigantic process table, and our x is here and our y is here. Now, some people write process here. Don't. We're going to use this to build our equation, okay? And our point is negative 2, 16. So we're going to put the negative 2 under x and the 16 under y. Now, we know that it's m is negative 5, and our basic equation is y equals mx plus b. So what we're going to do is we're going to plug that negative 5 in and see if we can figure out what b is using these points. Which is my x value that they gave me? Negative 2. So I'm going to say negative 5 times negative 2 plus something has got to equal 16. Well, again, I am not too proud to use my calculator. Negative 5 times negative 2. My calculator says that's 10. So 10 plus something equals 16. Well, 10 plus what equals 16? 6. So I think my equation is y equals negative 5x plus 6. But I like to get the answer right. So I'm going to check it in my calculator, okay? So in y equals, that's this button right here, I'm going to say negative 5x. And your input button is always this XTON button next to the green one. You're always going to use that as your x. Negative 5x plus 6. And then I hit second table. Okay? Now, they told me it passed through the point negative 2, 16. So if I go to negative 2, second graph, I'm sorry. And that's the table. When I go to 2, I should have the row negative 2, 16. And I do, so I know that this is the equation that I'm looking for. Okay? So, what's different about these two is they didn't give me slope. Exactly. So I have to find slope. So first, I have to find the slope. Okay? So first, there's both ways I can do it. I can put these points in a table. So to get here, I add 15. To get here, I add 25. Delta y over delta x is 15 over 25, which reduces to 3/5. Okay, that's one way I could do it. I could also use the slope formula if I wanted to, which is m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Be careful, I still see a lot of you guys doing x over y. Okay, so that would be 11 minus negative 4 over 15 minus negative 10. Now, when I do this, I can also use my calculator. By the way, if you ever get stuck in this menu and you're like, how do I get out? If you hit second and mode, you see how it says quit? It'll quit you out of anything you're in. Okay? So, I could actually put this entire thing in a fraction, and it will simplify it for me, instead of me having to do anything. So I put 11 minus negative, well, hold on a second, let's put in parentheses, negative 4 over 15 minus negative 10. I hit enter and it simplifies the whole thing for me, and I get 3/5. Now, you can do this, but remember, your work is still, you still have to show me what you put in the calculator. Okay? So if you don't show me this, you get no credit for it. All right? So I know my slope is 3/5. Now I need to find my y-intercept. So the first way I showed you was using the process table. I'm going to show you a different way. Okay? I know my basic equation is y equals mx plus b. Well, I know that m is 3/5, and I have two coordinates here, -10 and -4. Which one's the x? So I'm going to put that in place of x, and what's the y? -4. I'm going to put that in place of y, and then I'm just going to solve this. Okay? So I do, huh?
Oh, the super parentheses was weird.
Yeah, sorry. It's because I'm using this fat pen. Times -10 is alpha y equals is the fraction. So I have -4 equals -6 plus b. When I add 6 to both sides, I get 2 equals b. So I think my equation is y equals 3/5 x plus 2. But I like to be right, so I'm going to check it in my calculator. So again, I'm going to hit y equals, and I'm going to put this equation in. Alpha y equals 3/5 x plus 2. And then again, second graph's going to take me to the table. So I have 2 points this time, and I want to check them both. So I'm going to go to -10, and -10 does equal -4. Now I'm going to go all the way to 15, and I'm going to show you at a later time a faster way to do this. And I get 11. So I know that this equation is right because I checked it in my calculator.